Okay, today is all about captains, an important role in every club. Whoever wears the armband represents your team, the players, the fans, everything. So today we're going to predict every Premier League club's next captain. Arsenal, Hector Bellerin. Starting off with an easy one, Hector Bellerin is the current vice-captain at the Emirates, acting as deputy to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. However, I can't see Aubameyang at Arsenal much longer, especially with his contract winding down. That means they'll likely cash in on the forward so they don't lose him for nothing, meaning Bellerin can step up and take the captaincy at some point in the next 12 months. Would he be an ideal candidate? He'd be okay, but there's not really enough time for anyone to challenge him in an Arsenal shirt. Either way, it definitely won't be Granit Xhaka. That little experiment went up in flames quicker than Gary Neville's management career. Aston Villa, TYRONE MINGS. Again, this one's pretty easy, I think. The current skipper's Jack Grealish, but his future does not belong at Villa Park. For all his misdemeanours off the pitch, all the angry Irish guys' protests, Jack Grealish is destined for bigger things. He'll be on the move when the transfer window opens, meaning he'll have to leave his boyhood club behind, as well as handing back the captain's armband. TYRONE MINGS seems like the most likely to step up and take it on. He's a leader at the back and seems to command respect from his peers. I don't know how he's an England international though, but he can certainly do a job as Villa's skipper. Bournemouth, Lewis Cook. Picking a future captain for Bournemouth was tricky, as they've got a few candidates, but a lot of them are ageing players who had their best days behind them in a cherry shirt. Simon Francis is currently captain, but he's 35 years old, maybe only a year or two left in him depending on whether he gets a new contract. When Bournemouth appoint their new captain, they need someone fresh, and that's why I'm going with Lewis Cook over veterans Andrew Sermon and Steve Cook. Little Lewis can be a leader, he's done it at youth level, and is likely the future of Bournemouth's midfield, unless they cash in on him of course. Brighton, Ben White. Another young player we're taking a punt on. Ben White hasn't even made his league debut with Brighton yet, but ask any Leeds fan, they'll tell you just how good Ben White is, right after they buzz over Marcelo Bielsa of course. The young defender has been fantastic at Ellen Road this season, and Leeds will likely want him back. But he's a Brighton player, and could be moulded into a future captain in years to come. Lewis Dunk will hold the armband for a good few years now, but he'll surely go to Ben White next if he's patient. Burnley, Nick Pope. I've taken a wild punt here, as initially I'd gone with James Tarkowski, but I can see him leaving Turf Moor before current skipper Ben Mee, meaning I'm looking elsewhere and going for Nick Pope. Again, this is totally dependent on not leaving Burnley, and I'm sure most of you would agree that he could play for a much bigger and better club. But he could also be a future Burnley captain, as they've got an ageing squad which doesn't have too many years left in it. In contrast, Pope was entering his peak years as a goalkeeper, and could be a strong leader for Sean Dyche. Chelsea, Reece James. This was a tough one, as Azpilicueta will probably be Chelsea's skipper for a good few years. He'd outlast his two backups Jorginho and Willian, so who comes after them? Well, we've decided to go with one of Frank Lampard's young guns, Reece James. It just seems like the most likely leader out of this new breed of Chelsea players, and in 5 years' time he should be ready to take the armband at Stamford Bridge. He's a class act, he's versatile, and a future leader at Chelsea. Crystal Palace, Gary Cahill. Crystal Palace had a decent run not too long ago, and it was when Luka Milivojevic was out of the team. So maybe Palace should consider cashing in on their skipper, getting some good money for him, and just handing the armband to Gary Cahill. I mean, he's captained Chelsea before, I think he's up to the task at Palace, even if he's getting old. Other than Cahill, I haven't got a clue who it could be, probably a player who isn't even at Palace right now. Everton, Tom Davies. There's a few candidates at Everton, but I've gone with local lad Tom Davies, a young man who's already captained the club and actually plays more than you think. Seamus Coleman is currently skipper and has a few years left in him, so Tom Davies is actually a decent guess I think. He'll still look like a child when he's named captain, he's just got one of those faces that always looks like he should be ID'd for a scratch card, all works for a YouTube channel. Leicester City, Kasper Schmeichel. This one isn't exciting really, Kasper Schmeichel captains Leicester every week, but is actually deputy at the King Power, as the actual captain is Wes Morgan. But the Jamaican international never plays, and will likely leave when his contract ends this summer. So it would make no sense if Rodgers appointed anyone other than Schmeichel. A captain just like his daddy, isn't that nice? Did you know his dad was a famous goalkeeper as well? Liverpool, Virgil van Dijk. This one's basically just a race between Jordan Henderson and Virgil van Dijk. Whenever Henderson leaves, the only way the next captain won't be Virgil van Dijk is if he's left the club. They're similar ages, but Van Dijk looks like he could play at the top for much longer. I mean, surely deep into his 30s Van Dijk could be a top-class Premier League defender, whereas Jordan Henderson looks like he's at his absolute best right now. It just depends on when or if Henderson leaves Anfield. But then again, where would he go? I can't really see him returning to Sunderland, unless he fancies a starring role in Sunderland Till I Die Season 3 on Netflix, which I don't think's actually happening. Manchester City, Fernandinho. Easy one here, there's no argument. David Silva's leaving at the end of the season, while Fernandinho is extended to stay until 2021. So it's obvious the Brazilian enforcer is going to take the armband permanently. I can hardly see Pep throwing a curveball and handing it to Zinchenko, can you? Manchester United, Scott McTominay. If Scott McTominay is as good as Manchester United fans constantly tell us, it's a wonder he isn't captain already, as well as a Ballon d'Or winner and leader of the universe. But if he does remain a first team player at Old Trafford, he seems like a likely contender to replace Harry Maguire as skipper. Rashford doesn't strike me as a leader. De Gea would be captain by now if it was going to be him. And Lingard's just too young to handle all that responsibility. He can't be captain of Manchester United and complete his GCSEs at the same time. Newcastle United... I've got no idea. The club are about to win the lottery if this takeover goes through, so who knows what shape they'll be in when Lascelles finally relieves the armband. They might be competing for the Champions League or anything. Matthijs de Ligt might be captain, or even and/or Deck. Out of pot with it, I'll just pick Matty Longstaff and move on. Norwich City, Ben Godfrey. Norwich have some cracking young players in their ranks, but the best leader looks to be Ben Godfrey. And if the Canaries can fight off any interest in him, I'd bet he'll be the next permanent captain at Carrow Road, replacing current skipper Grant Hanley. I can't believe he's actually a Premier League player right now, to be honest. It's no wonder Norwich can't defend to save their lives. The only way they're staying up is if this season gets made null and void. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that, we're talking about captains. Christ, stop distracting us. Sheffield United, Oliver Norwood. A simple choice here, I've just gone with Billy Sharp's deputy, as there's no way the veteran striker will be at Bramall Lane beyond his current contract, which ends in 2021. He could even leave sooner, as I bet a load of lower league clubs would love to sign Billy Sharp. But Oliver Norwood is currently vice-captain, and after a strong start of life in the Premier League, it seems likely he'll take on the armband full-time for the Blades. Just imagine it, in a couple of years' time he'll be leading them out at the new camp. Southampton, James Ward-Prowse. To be honest, I'm surprised James Ward-Prowse isn't already Southampton's captain. It seems like he's been around forever, and he's still only in his early 20s. He's a leader, he's done it at youth level, captain England's youth sides. It's only a matter of time before he's a full-time Premier League skipper. The only issue is, actual captain Pierre-Emile Højbjerg is actually younger than him. Maybe Ward-Prowse will just wipe him out in training and take the armband off him. It seems like the kind of thing he'd do. Tottenham Hotspur, Dele Alli. I know this is an odd choice, but by the time Tottenham needs a new captain, I think Harry Kane will be long gone. So by the time Spurs need a new skipper to replace Lloris, they're going to have to go left field. And if Jose Mourinho is the man making the decision, I can just see him going with Ali. I know he's captained Spurs before, but he doesn't strike you as a leader. But then again, when has Jose Mourinho ever been stopped from marching to the beat of his own drum? I mean, the man did a training session in the park the other week when the government told him to stay at his own house. Watford, Ben Wilmot. Troy Deeney's going to be captain of Watford from now until the day he dies, I can just see it. So picking Watford's next captain is a tough one, as it's going to be a good few years from now. But I've decided to go with Hornets youngster. No, João Pedro, it's not you, go back to your young girlfriend. It's Ben Wilmot, a lad who's just 20 but shining on loan at Swansea, and definitely a future first team player at Vicarage Road. Will he be captain material? Yeah, why not? West Ham United, Declan Rice. This one all depends on whether or not a big team picks him up or not. But if they don't, he'll surely be the man to replace Mark Noble as captain at the London Stadium, although God knows when that'll be. Mark Noble's been captain forever, and there's been no talk of him leaving. Maybe he's just going to keep clinging on until he gets that England cap that everyone said he should have got about 5 years ago. And finally Wolves, Leander Dendonckere. Ruben Neves is vice-captain, but surely he'll have been sold off to one of the world's elite by the time Wolves need a new skipper. So we're going to go with Leander Dendonckere, as he just strikes me as a mature player who's wise beyond his years. Maybe it's just because he started Anderlecht so young. But yeah, we'll go with him as Wolves' next captain. Or maybe it'll be some robot footballer brought to Molyneux by super agent George Mendes in the year 2025. Who knows what the future will hold? Yeah, this lockdown's hit me quite hard. So there we have it, that's the end of the video. We've predicted every Premier League club's next captain. Let us know in the comments what you think of the video. Let us know who you think your team's captain's going to be if we haven't mentioned them in this video. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to HITC Sport. Check out Alexpo if you haven't already. You can follow me on Twitter, I'm at HITC James. Kind of just dragging this video out for a bit. Make sure you stay indoors, wash your hands, all that good stuff. But until next time, we'll see you around.